anybody here for the bid? Granada Hills bid? And last but not least, how about ladies from the Granada Hills Women's Club? Yay! Thank you. And I have to thank you for the venue. It's wonderful that we have, that we're able to be here. Just a little bit of history as well. We have a community plan, a general plan, a specific plan, and this project does fly out of some of those plans. Land use is my passion, because I learned a long time ago that with land use, if it's flawed, comes crime and just a bad quality of life. We would love to see all Granada Hills as wonderful, our little slice of paradise, and some of the development that goes on that's really appropriate for the scale and the density and the surrounding area. So hopefully together we will really form a nice coalition, go to the hearing with arguments that will hopefully land us a wonderful project, something that we can all be proud of. And we're here to help you, to teach you how to testify, because one thing in these hearings, the hearing officers or city officials do not want to hear is the same testimony. We've got to be skilled, we've got to know what we need to say, and we've got to present our facts. Anyway, I hope we can be all working together. For now in the future, Granada Hills is that wonderful place, and we want to keep it that way. And we'll be working with our council member as well, Mitchell Englander, to collaborate on these practices. Thank you very much.
Talk to you about time, talent, and treasure. Yay! Anybody ever heard that before? Anybody ever heard about time, talent, and treasure? Okay. So, essentially we have a big project in front of us, and there's one way or another that we can all contribute. If you're not quite sure, just think about that saying, time, talent, or treasure. I think we all have a little bit of time to give an hour to get some exercise in, walk around your neighborhood and pass out flyers. If you haven't noticed already, in the back we have a gorgeous map of our community, and we're highlighting it, and we're having you sign up and commit to passing out flyers. Another time, we need you on February 7th. Okay, the hearing's at 11 a.m. We'd love for you to be there at 10:30. We're hoping to possibly have one more quick meeting a day or two before. Hoping to show up in force wearing our Stop 440 t-shirts. We'll be hopefully passing them out that day. Talent. Anybody in here happen to be an independent land use consultant? Because that would be fabulous and a good way to give us some talent. And even if you're not, there is something that you can do. I discovered I can create flyers. Didn't know I had this talent. Here you are holding them. Okay? We have lawyers who are volunteering, teachers. My husband calls me a Mexican Benitez, essentially a nosy person who gets involved in too much stuff. There's some talent that you have that you can contribute to this. David in the back, he's just giving me his card. He's got some talents, or some people who have talents who can help us. So if there's something that you think you can do to help us, let us know. Esther and I are behind the Stop 440 and GH email, so if you email us at that, we're on the receiving end. Let's see. Lastly, treasure. I can't beat Joanne and Vito's, declaration to our community and their love for it. But if you have some treasure to help us fight this, that would be phenomenal. Okay, we're up against a monster, but if we all come together, we'll be able to do some damage. However, we do need to hire some professional people, and it does cost a lot of money. We have a beautiful little bin over there. You can talk to Joanne. Any sort of treasure that you can give us. I think we can all give up our Starbucks affliction for a week. There's $20. Anything you can give would really, really be appreciated. Lastly, I just want to sort of bring up the time again. We really do need you February 7th, and we're happy that you're here, and you've committed your time already. And I think when Esther and I first started on this, we said we really need to educate people. We need to let them know what's going on. And that's part of our meeting tonight. We're going to help educate you on how we can fight collectively on February 7th. So please show up that day. Wear red. Surprisingly, if you look around, we all kind of did it unknowingly. So wear your red that day. We'll hopefully have our t-shirts. We'll have media presence. And we want to be there and fight them with a large number. you happen to be a Kennedy parent, we were at the PTSA meeting last night, wear your Kennedy gear, okay? Your kids will be affected by this. It's a 26-month project if it happens. Okay, with that said, thank you. And I would like to introduce, on behalf of Councilman Mitchell Englander, the field deputy, Millie J. Jones, has a statement to read on his behalf.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on a great turnout, and more importantly, for the grassroots work that you're doing for your community. This is really what communities are all about. It's coming together, and we often see our largest crowds when we have the greatest concerns before us. Councilman Englander prepared a letter dated today, January 24th. He asked that I come and read it to the community. Here it goes. Dear friends, I have heard from and spoken with many of you regarding your concerns with the proposed mixed-use project at San Fernando Mission Boulevard and Woodley Avenue. Though many of you may have seen my previous letter, I wanted to reiterate that the zoning of the property allows certain degree of residential density. The recently adopted Granada Hills Knollwood Community Plan update actually downzoned the property from its previous zone of C2-1 VL, effectively reducing the allowed density from the previous community plan, cutting the number of allowable residential units by 50%. Despite the fact that this project is essentially by right due to its underlying zoning, I have asked the applicant to continue to work with me and the community to improve their proposal. I want to thank those folks who took the time to write my office, and particularly those of you who came to my office to voice concerns on the project. Your presence helped give myself and your community representatives a leg up on negotiating on your behalf. Because of your feedback and direct activism over the last several months, the applicant has so far agreed to the following project changes: reduction in the unit count from the originally proposed 440 to 390, without a corresponding reduction in provided parking spaces, nearly a 12% reduction. Reduction in building height from the originally proposed 54 feet to 45 feet, a height permitted by the specific plan without the allowed utilization of density bonus height incentive. Shifting of the northern project driveway 40 feet south for improved visibility and pedestrian safety. This revised proposal was discussed at the stakeholders meeting on January 13th. I feel this was a productive meeting, and further questions and feedback were provided directly to the applicant. The project will continue to be reviewed by the Neighborhood Council, and a follow-up meeting with me will be held. Also, the proposed hearing originally scheduled for December 6th has been rescheduled to February 7th. A hearing officer has been added to give the community an opportunity to speak to the project itself, apart from the tract map case. At this hearing, my office will request that the record be held open for additional period of time to allow for additional comments to be submitted and considered prior to the planning department's rendering a decision on the case. I look forward to continuing to work with you through this process and welcome your input. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, Millie. Did everybody get a flyer as they walked in? Oh, okay. We have flyers for you. I was just going to go through it really quickly to help explain a little bit February 7th is the hearing, and you will all be there, correct? Yay! It's for everybody. Okay. And on February 7th, if you happen to have our flyer, it asks, what can I do? The first thing is show up. Okay? We need you there. The second thing is speak. And that's what our next speaker is going to help us do. He's going to help us speak. He's going to walk us through how and what we need to say to make it effective. Okay? And the last thing, if you have the flyer, just to kind of piggyback upon the statement that Millie read from Councilman Englanders, is if you don't feel like you're the greatest speaker but you still want to be heard, guess what? They have to read our emails and our letters that we submit regarding this case. So if you have your flyer, the third, what can I do? Email or mail. It says your statements explaining to the city why the project is a bad idea. Challenge the developer's conclusions with facts. Our next presenter is going to help us do that. You're going to share personal experiences about our community. Thank you, Joanne and Vito, for doing that. And explain what it is our community needs in that particular development. It tells you there's two people you need to email. Heather.bleemers@lacity.org and hannah.lee@lacity.org. If you're not comfortable with email, snail mail works well too, and they have to read it. Okay? Mail the letter, the information's there. It's got the case numbers in which you should reference in order to send them in. Okay, so again, there's a little bit of your time that you can donate and make a difference because they have to read that and they have to present it. So if you can't make it, email or mail a letter.
So we just have one more portion of tonight, which is Kyle, and he'll do a short presentation about how we can do it effectively. There's a lot of information that there are about 7 or 8 people who really research, and they're not, land consultants, but they did the research. We spent a lot of hours. So we compiled a lot of it on this URL. It's http://tinyurl.com/Y stop440. So if you look that up, you're going to see a lot of research and observations that they've already made that counter what the developer is trying to say, or what Granada Hills specific plan says we need to do. So those are the ways Kyle will be talking about. So please, before you leave, take a picture of this or write it down so you'll be more informed as well. Thank you.
If you have your email, we'll make sure to email it out tonight as well. I'd like to introduce Kyle, another neighborly neighbor.
So I'll do my best to keep this short and sweet. Our goals are to explain the public hearing, which you've already heard a lot about, and to explain what you can do at the public hearing to help stop this project. So the public hearing will be held on February 7th, although there was some talk about it being held in April. It's not going to do that. And it's open for all comments that we care to make. So you can go up there and say, I like how the building is white in those pictures. That looks nice. And they would have to listen to it. And it's a chance for you to state your opinion and the reasons why the city should not accept the project that's currently proposed. So the problem is you only get 1 minute to say your opinion. So what you need to do is you need to explain why the city, explain to the city why the development is a bad idea. So you have to think like the city and think, okay, how can I convince a city who doesn't care particularly about some things that I don't care about or do care about? How can I convince someone, or a bureaucracy, I guess, to do what I want them to do? So the way you do it is you challenge the developer's conclusions with facts. And you talk about your personal experiences, and you talk about what the community needs and how the development is not going to fulfill those needs. But you only get 1 minute, like I mentioned before. So you must choose one thing to talk about. And you have to focus on that thing like the thing. So if you want to talk about a fact to challenge one of their conclusions, talk about just one fact. If you want to talk about an experience, let's talk about one experience. If you want to talk about the needs of the community, let's talk about one need. So I developed some templates that we'll be able to use in explaining this. Now, you probably can't read it too well, but I'll read it out loud. So this is a template for needs. And basically what it says is right now, Granada Hills does not have, and you describe something that Granada Hills needs. In the second sentence, you say, if the development is approved as it's currently designed, then you describe how what we need either doesn't get fulfilled or becomes a worse problem. Then you say, this is bad because you describe what the consequences are. And finally you say, therefore, the developers need to change the development or not develop there at all. Experiences are pretty much the same sort of format. You say what your name is, how many years you've lived in the community, describe a relevant experience. Maybe you've been to Chuck E. Cheese. Maybe when you're walking along San Fernando Mission, you enjoy looking up at the hills, and that view would be blocked by the building. Then you describe how, because of a characteristic of the building, something that you've experienced, whether that could get worse, or it would change your experience in a negative way. And finally, you say because of that reason, planned development should not be built that way. Finally, for facts, this is probably the most technical one. You have to say in a specific document, the developer said some very specific conclusion. This conclusion is wrong because the developer's facts are wrong, and it shouldn't be built because these other facts that I've researched independently say it should be this. So, example of facts would be something like this. And actually, I myself, this takes me exactly 1 minute to say. So, it says, in the developer's mitigated negative declaration, the developer says that the 1,074 increase in population due to the project would, quote, not be considered a substantial increase for the area because the population of the city of Los Angeles will reach approximately 4 million people by 2020. The developer's conclusion is wrong because the city of Los Angeles is not the relevant area, but the neighborhood of Granada Hills is the relevant area. The city should look at the 2010 census, which states that the census tract where the development is taking place only has 960 people living in it. Using these facts, it's clear the development would more than double the population in that census tract and is a substantial increase for the area. As you might imagine, I had to look through the census tract to find this information, and that probably took me a couple hours to do that research. But if you have the time and the ability to do that research, please do so and send it to Esther or Adriana. Otherwise, some of us have been doing research independently, and I think we have something like 40 pages at this point of research that we've done to try to prepare for this sort of thing. I'm personally going to be writing a letter that includes all the research we've done, so if we don't have enough people to say all the specific facts, and they'll read it anyway and they'll have to respond to it. So, what you can do is, for the hearing, we need people to be willing to stand up and read cards that basically say things like this, and we're going to do the research, we're going to figure out what exactly we need to say for those facts, but we need volunteers to say that because I think we have like maybe 8 people working on the research right now, and there's going to be a lot more than 8 things that need to be challenged.
Can somebody do that one right now?
So, what the current plan is that the day out, we're going to have note cards ready to go, and we will hand them to people. So, if you want that one, I'll try to make sure I'm on the top of the stack and hand it over to you.
So wrap it up so that the money can go.
That is some out-of-the-box thinking that I didn't think about. That makes sense, though. One of you two want to handle it back there? All right, but obviously, we don't want everyone to go up there and just say this fact is wrong because of this fact. Therefore, the analysis is wrong. We want actually the city to consider the fact that humans live in Granada Hills, and it's not just a bunch of facts and figures. So we need people to talk about their experiences in Granada Hills and talk about the community as well. Yes.
You have drafts of this as we hand out.
Drafts of
Give copies of
Esther, do we have copies of the template?
Yes, they're right there, they're about 50 cent pages, but are we gonna break out the small groups?
Do we have copies of these templates?
Yes, right here. Where are they?
I don't know.
Oh, no, they're right here.
Oh, yes, we have copies of the templates. So you can take them now and head out, and that would be fine too. I see another question way back.
Yeah, thank you. My name's Faith O'Bay. A couple of practical things. I testified before property hearing of planning and land use section. If you want more than 1 minute, if you have something that's going to take you 3, take 3 people, write out your presentation, and string it together. How do you do that? When you come in, you will be asked to sign a speaker card, all right? And it will ask you what item on the agenda you're speaking on, and whether you're for, against, or just general comments. Obviously, you're against. The key is, all 3 of you sign up in a row, right? And you will most likely be called in a row. Therefore, you can make a point that will be more than just a minute by putting your names together. Even if you weren't called together, you can say, let's say I'm the first one up and I make the presentation. Let's say there's a couple people in between, and then they call on Armando, right? And Armando says,
I'm almost done with the presentation, then we can come back to you. Oh, this is really good.
Mr. Bouvet has to be in control.
Yes, please,
yes,
please.
go ahead and finish. But
All right, thanks.
there's lots of things to know here, okay?
Appreciate that, sir. So, I discussed the fact we need to do facts. We need people to talk about what the community needs. We need to talk about the community's experiences. And we have the templates, so we can help anyone who wants to fill that out today. We can do that. Also, obviously, we can talk about some of the other efforts that we can use help on if you're not willing to speak at the hearing or not able. Also, I should probably mention that at the hearing, because it's kind of this, formal city thing, they don't like people clapping or applauding or, commenting outside of when they're allowed to speak. And if that happens, they may not be able to hear what the people are saying, which would hurt our case. So just keep that in mind, that when you're actually, they need to be kind of respectful. Think about it like going to court, because these guys are making a decision. They need to treat it like that. Let me just put this up. Okay, so this is the contact information. I'm going to leave this up. And then otherwise, the 40 pages or so I mentioned that we've been doing research on, I'm going to put that into a letter and send that to these people. But I would really, really, really like to have the signatures of the people in the community attached to that letter, just to show that it's not one person, but hundreds of people who don't want this project built. So today I have just a blank piece of paper, and if you could just come up and just sign your name, I'd really appreciate that, being able to have it.
Did you have to put on the website to allow people to download the 40 pages and read it?
That is the website that was mentioned before. That should have that
That's where
information.
it is? Or is it-
Yes, sir. It'll be on this website.
You know where?
Hey, it's up there right now. Yes.
I think it's important to realize that although you may have a subject you want to speak about and you're passionate about a subject and that's what you want to speak about, be sure and let Esther and Adriana know so that it's on that website so that you don't duplicate it. Okay? Don't just show up at the hearing some completely new thing that you thought of, because 15 other people might be saying the same thing. That's why we're trying to keep all the lists there. And you can either pick one of those to talk about or come up with your own, but let them know what you're gonna be talking about.
And again, we're going to do our best to make sure that on the day of the hearing, we come prepared with note cards that have the facts ready to go. And otherwise, if you want to talk about experiences, the community needs, we're going to trust you guys to know what those are.
Kyle, you got one right
Yeah, we're about to. Yes.
Just quickly, I'm just wondering, is it do any good to actually send letters to the developer?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I will mention today I've been reviewing another appeal process that has been going on, and when I looked through it, they literally had to respond to several hundred emails and comments of those emails and actually give responses to them.
Oh, great.
If they're the same comment over and over again, they'll just list all the emails and say, here's our response to all these. But otherwise, yes, they have to read them and address them. Yes.
I'm a corporate gal, so I'm not shy. I'm glad to speak up. I wanted to ask, are we allowed to suggest an alternative location for this park?
Like Port Around?
The reason why I'm asking I have a valid reason, because when you have a problem and you come to a solution, sometimes it brings attention. And Councilwoman Nunez said 2 weeks ago on Newsmakers that the area on Van Nuys Boulevard between Roscoe Boulevard and Parthenia has not been developed in over 30 years. It is already historically an area that is an urban metropolitan area which it would impact. We have a quiet residential, peaceful place here in Granada Hills. It is not an urban metropolitan area that we want. So because that would it be acceptable? That's what I was personally saying, because take it somewhere else.
Be open.
I think
Be
that
open.
is a wonderful
Be
topic.
open.
And,
Be open-minded.
What I would urge you to do
Be
is go
open-minded.
on to Leads of the Community.
It's
and
okay to
raise
hear
your
other
voice.
sides. He doesn't know that
piece of property. The community needs to have single-family residences, relevant design appropriate because there would be bad for the community. And there's this other place that you could build it. Why don't you go there?
If I'm not mistaken though, I think something was just proposed there, literally in the last week or two.
Hey, guess what went out tonight?
So I've been told we're right around out of time, so we're going to have to unfortunately cut the question and answers short. But what we'd like to do now is everyone who has been working on this project so far, please raise your hand. And everyone, if you want more information, please go to one of the folks that has their hands raised. Additionally, we have the signature page up here. And we have the templates over here. If you have any questions at all about any of these, please come ask us.
One question.
Wait, so this is, we're gonna break out into groups before, no, please feel free to ask them, but this is what, some of you have to leave, I understand that, so we don't want you to leave, but some of you do, but before you do, I need to know if any of you have a corner house. We have a person who's gonna be making yard signs, and we want corner houses. So if you have a corner house, before you leave today, see this beautiful woman who's outspoken here? We need your name and your phone number and pretty much which corner you live so we can put it in strategic places. 2, we need you to talk to that beautiful lady over there, Joanna, who will also highlight where you promised to pass out. But if you can stay, we're going to break out into about 4 or 5 groups working on this template tonight. We don't want to go there and we won't have time to do all this, but we're giving you that opportunity now to speak with some of the experts who've been researching themselves, or we're learning. Anyway, so one group can go with Kyle. Yes, right here. Another group, John, please stand up. John will also take a group. Agnes, raise your hand, please. Agnes will take a group. Maria, please raise your hand. Maria will take a group. And is there, and Joanne, Joanne wants to take the people who want to talk about experiences, the heart of the community. So she wants, especially of those who don't have email. If you don't have email, she wants to really write it down for you or help you, and then she'll mail it for you, she even said. So if you want to, she's sitting right here. So can we form a group over there with John, a group over here with Kyle? Agnes, you want to be where? Right by the map. Maria's right here. And donations, don't forget, please. You guys,